heard the noise on that idler pulley, and the reason I'm changing it out. Now the thing is, it doesn't always squeak like that just when I first started, and then it kind of evens out and then it's fine, but yeah, so bad bearing in that thing, so I'm just going to change it out. Here we go. Got the car jacked up and the wheel removed, and this is what you're going to be looking at when you take this shield off. There's just a bunch of bolts holding that shield around there. It just goes around. It's a typical shield, bolts going around it, and you have to remove those, so not a big thing. And what you're going to be looking at is this configuration. Now what we're going to be removing today is this idler pulley here. That's the one that was making that noise. It's a bad bearing in there, and what was happening, it was just making noise intermittently, and it would go off. So I'm just going to change that out. Now in order to change this out, you're going to have to remove one bolt and loosen one bolt. And you're going to need a 14-inch, 14 metric socket to do that. Okay, so it's all, the only socket you're going to need is this 14, at least on this one. You might be different on your vehicle. The one we're going to be removing is this center bolt right here, and that's going to come off first. And then right underneath in the back here, there's another bolt. You're not going to remove this bolt. You're just going to loosen it enough that this pulley comes out. What that does is it releases the tension on that pulley, and that's all you have to worry about on those two. So let's get started on that. Now what you want to do is remove this bolt entirely. No, it's not, it's just a nut. It's not, I keep calling it a bolt, and it's a nut. I don't know why I call it a bolt. Anyway, remove this nut completely, and then underneath here, so there it is right there, that bolt. That's the one you have to remove. Or not remove, just loosen. We got the center nut out. Now we're going to loosen this tensioner here, and I'm going to do that right now. So I loosened up the tensioner bolt. That's this one right here, right underneath the pulley. Just loosen that up, and you'll see when you start loosening it up that this belt is going to be getting looser and looser, and you're going to be able to take this belt and just slide it off of the pulley, and to just set it on top. You don't have to do anything else, and just remove this old pulley, and that's what you're going to have there. And obviously this is the stud this is the way this mechanism works. This actually puts tension this puts tension on that pulley, see? So that's the way that works. That's why you have to loosen this, okay? Now, I wouldn't do anything with that belt. Just set it up there. You don't have to remove that belt, do anything with that belt. So kind of keep that in place wherever that is. You won't have to monkey with that. Just see how it fits on the other side there, and I wouldn't do anything with this belt, just kind of leave it there. Okay, this is the old one and the new one, and this is the box that came. I got these online. They're about 25, 26 bucks, something like that. Just go on there and put the model of your vehicle. This is a Hyundai Santa Fe 2005 3.5. So all I'm going to do is stick this thing back on there and put the belt on there, and to put the bolt, the nut back on there, and then tighten up that bolt. So let's go ahead and do that. Slide the new pulley on onto the shaft. Put your nut on. Just go ahead and finger tight that nut on there. All the way, finger tight. Then carefully bring your belt down. Make sure that the belts are on your pulleys, both sides. Okay, put those belts on those pulleys. On the other side too, that little one back up there. Now bring your pulley up. I might have tightened this nut up a little too much. If you tighten it too much, it's going to lock this up. So just finger tight, just so you can slide that up and slide your belt on. Okay. If you tighten this nut, it's going to lock. It's going to lock this this tensioner up. So don't, just finger tight it. Make sure all your belts are on. Once all your belts are on, you can tighten up this tensioner. You can tighten that up. You'll feel your belts. You'll feel your belts start to tighten up a little bit as you're going along. Once you feel your tensioner starting to tighten up, start measuring your belts here. Make sure this nut's pretty snug. You don't want it tight, but you don't want it loose either. This belt and the one on top here on the other side of the pulley should have about 1/4 of an inch play in there. You don't want it too tight. If you tighten up your belts too much, they'll put a wear and tear on your air compressor, and you might start wearing out the bearings on your air compressor, because too much tension will make the axle tweak inside your compressor, and that'll wear out your bearing real quick. So you want it tight, but you don't want it ridiculously tight. So once you feel those about 1/4 of an inch, then you can tighten up your nut here. And once you tighten up that nut, you can tighten it up pretty much. And that'll lock that tensioner in place. You don't have to worry about that anymore. Double check your belts, make sure they're about 1/4 of an inch. And the top one too. Obviously, you want to make sure your belts are on your pulleys. Okay. Check them all the way around, and that's about it. And you're pretty much done. You got to put your shroud back on, your dust shield, and you're pretty much set. Well, thanks for watching OG's Garage. I hope this helped you out a little bit with your idler pulley. It's not a major job. It's just takes a little patience. You get through it. It's fine. Good luck. We'll see you next time on OG's Garage.